Okay, imagine this for a second. You're 47 years old, but you've got the lungs of an 18-year-old and like the heart health of someone who's 37. And overall, you're aging so slowly. You only rack up, what, 233 days for every actual year that goes by.
Yeah, it sounds like science fiction, doesn't it?
Totally. But that's the measured reality for Bryan Johnson. You know, the tech guy spending over $2 million a year on this thing called Project Blueprint.
Right.
So, okay, let's unpack this a bit. Is this just, well, is it just some super rich guy's obsession? Or is there actual, like, replicable science here?
That's the million-dollar question, or $2 million question, I guess.
Exactly. We've dug into the whole protocol, the crazy 5 a.m. wake-ups, the, like, 20 pills at a time, that final meal finished by 11 in the morning.
Yeah, the 11 a.m. cutoff is pretty wild.
We're boiling it all down. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll get the 3 core pillars, the stuff that's actually backed by science and seems to drive the age reversal. And importantly, how you could potentially do a budget blueprint version, you know, without needing that $2 million or a team of 30 doctors.
Right, making it accessible.
So let's start with the man himself. Bryan Johnson, 47, sold Braintree, you remember, the payment company, for $800 million.
Yeah, huge exit.
And his goal now isn't just like living a long time. He's aiming to actually reverse aging through obsessive measurement.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is the method is the story here. It's not a weekend hobby.
No kidding.
It's probably the most comprehensive single-person anti-aging experiment happening anywhere. He's tracking, 78 organs? Over 100 biomarkers?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
All overseen by this team of doctors, referencing like over 1,000 scientific papers. It's the measurement focus that makes it compelling. You can't just dismiss it.
And the results,
Yeah.
well, they speak for themselves, right? That overall aging pace, 0.69. Which means, yeah, he's aging biologically about 31% slower than the calendar. Puts him way up there, even compared to 20-year-olds.
And the big one. The epigenetic clocks show he's knocked about 5.1 years off his biological age. That's not just feeling younger, that's, well, hard data.
Exactly. That 5.1-year reversal, plus things like his inflammation marker, HSCRP, it's 85% lower than an average 18-year-old's.
85% lower.
Yeah. It's undeniable proof that this kind of radical consistency tied to data, it actually produces pretty radical physical changes.
Okay, so if we take away the millions, the huge team, how is he actually doing it? We've kind of distilled Blueprint into 3 core pillars. And the first one, well, it seems non-negotiable.
Right.
Insight number 1, sleep. Johnson actually calls himself a professional sleeper.
He does, and the data really backs that up. Sleep might be the single most powerful longevity tool we all have access to.
He treats it like his job, basically. Super consistent schedule. Bedtime, 8:03 p.m., sharp, every night.
It wakes up naturally around 5:00 a.m., no alarm clock needed.
That discipline alone apparently got him a perfect 100% sleep score on his tracker for 8 months straight.
Which is, yeah, almost unbelievable.
But it's not just the timing, is it? There's this whole wind-down routine.
Yeah, that's critical. Starts about an hour before bed, around 7:30 p.m., no screens, no stressful work talk, and even the lights change, only red or amber light allowed.
He's really controlling the inputs. Environmental, emotional.
Definitely. And the environment itself is, like, clinically controlled. Bedroom temperature locked between 60 and 67 Fahrenheit.
That seems cold.
It is cool, but it's not just about comfort. That specific range is apparently optimal for deep sleep. It helps your core body temperature drop, which you need for that really restorative sleep.
Okay, that makes sense. And that focus on body timing, metabolic stuff, it connects to the next piece, right? You can't be digesting a late dinner if your body's trying to repair itself.
Exactly. You need that downtime, which leads us right into the diet.
Right. Insight number 2, diet. And this isn't about taste, it seems. It's like extreme fuel lock-in. Pure fuel engineering.
That's a good way to put it. The structure is rigid, 2,250 calories a day. But the really tough part, the kicker, is that eating window.
6:00 a.m. to 11:00 that's it.
Yeah, so that forces a strict 16 to 18-hour fast every single day.
Okay, we have to pause on that 11 a.m. cutoff. It sounds so arbitrary. What's the thinking there? Why 11 a.m.?
It's actually pretty key metabolically. Finishing by 11 a.m. ensures that most of that long 16, 18-hour fast happens when your insulin sensitivity is naturally lower overnight. It lines up with your circadian rhythm.
Ah, okay.
This timing is meant to maximize something called autophagy. That's your body's cellular cleanup process. So by stopping eating so early, he's giving his system the maximum amount of time for uninterrupted rest and repair overnight.
Got it. Cellular cleanup. And the food itself is specific too. 100% vegan.
Right.
Well, except for collagen peptides.
Right. And a huge focus on vegetables.
Yeah.
Like over 70 pounds of veggies a month.
70 pounds.
Yeah, nutrient density is the name of the game.
Give us an example. What's he actually eating?
Okay, so meal 2, around 8 a.m., is his famous super veggie mix. It's things like black lentils, broccoli, cauliflower, different mushrooms like shiitake, maitake, garlic, ginger.
Sounds healthy. Maybe not delicious, but healthy.
It's definitely built for fiber and micronutrients, yeah.
Yeah.
Maximum nutritional payload per calorie.
But here's a surprise, maybe. The cost. All this specialized food, it sounds incredibly expensive.
You'd think so, right? But the actual groceries for this super optimized diet, it comes out to about $23 a day.
Seriously, just $23.
Yeah, around $690 a month for the food itself. It's all the other stuff, the doctors, the testing, the machines, that adds up to the $2 million. The food part is surprisingly manageable.
Okay, that's interesting. Which brings us to the third pillar. You've got the sleep, you've got the fuel. Now, how do you use it?
Precisely. It's about efficient use of that fuel.
Insight number 3, exercise. But it's not just hitting the gym randomly. It's zone-based training, targeting elite metrics. About 60 to 90 minutes a day, most days of the week.
Yeah, 6 or 7 days. And zone-based means really paying attention to heart rate zones.
Right. So how does he break it down?
The bulk of it, about 4.5 hours a week, is in moderate cardio. Zones 2 through 4. Then another 90 minutes is high-intensity zone 5 stuff. Max effort.
Can you quickly define zone 2? That's where he spends the most time.
Sure. Zone 2 is often called the conversational pace. Like you could hold a conversation, but you're breathing a bit harder, maybe slightly labored.
Okay.
He spends so much time there, 4.5 hours, because that specific intensity is really good at building mitochondrial density. Basically making your body's energy factories more efficient long term.
Building the engine. And the strength training is specific too, isn't it? Not just lifting heavy weights.
Exactly. He does things like Nordic curls, which tells you there's a focus on things like hamstring and tendon health, crucial for mobility and preventing injuries as you age. It's about longevity, not just brute strength.
And that focus clearly works. His VO2 max, that's the big measure of how well your body uses oxygen during intense exercise.
Yeah.
It's in the top 1.5% of 18-year-olds.
Wow. Okay, so the training is definitely paying off in terms of raw aerobic capacity.
So we've covered the sleep, diet, exercise, but the real deeper value, you argue, is in the data.
Absolutely. The routine is impressive, but it's the tracking of those critical biomarkers that connects the actions to the results. That's the treasure trove, really. And we want to highlight 3 key ones that, anyone can actually get tested.
Okay, let's hear them first.
First, HbA1c. This measures your average blood sugar over the last, say, 3 months.
Right. Standard diabetes marker.
Exactly. Bryan's is down at 4.5%. The ideal is usually under 5.2%. And you should care, because high HbA1c isn't just about diabetes. It's a strong predictor for heart disease, even some cancers, dementia.
Okay, good one. Number 2.
Second, apolipoprotein B. Apolipoprotein B. Think of this as maybe the best measure of bad cholesterol risk. It basically tells you the number of atherogenic particles, the ones that cause plaque buildup.
Better than just LDL.
Many experts think so, yeah. It captures more of the picture. Bryan's is incredibly low, like 40 milli-GDL. The target is usually under 80 milli-GDL. It's a primary driver of heart attack risk.
40, that's crazy low. And number 3.
Third, HSCRP. High-sensitivity C-reactive protein. This measures overall systemic inflammation in your body.
The silent killer, inflammation.
Pretty much.
Right.
Bryan's is less than 0.3 milli-GL. Remember, that's 85% lower than the average 18-year-old. It shows his internal environment is incredibly anti-inflammatory.
Okay, those are great markers. But we have to address the elephant in the room, right? He's taking some serious prescription drugs. Metformin, a carbose, which actually blocks carb absorption.
Yes, that's true.
Doesn't that kind of skew the results? Can we really say the diet got his HbA1c to 4.5% when he's on drugs specifically designed to lower blood sugar? Doesn't that make it hard to generalize?
That's a really important point. And yes, the pharmaceuticals are definitely playing a role in optimizing those numbers. You can't separate them out entirely. But I think the way to look at it is the protocol. The diet, the fasting, the sleep, the exercise creates this incredibly healthy foundation. It sets the stage. The drugs then work on top of that optimized baseline to push the numbers to levels that are, frankly, almost unattainable naturally for most people.
Okay, so the lifestyle creates the floor, the drugs raise the ceiling.
Exactly. The genius might be in how the whole system works together.
Right.
His data shows what's possible when you optimize everything simultaneously, lifestyle, and pharmacology included.
Oh, wait, that makes sense. So let's talk about the really expensive stuff, the $2 million elements. This is the hidden bonuses part, the stuff most of us won't be doing.
Right, the extreme edge.
It starts with the pills, right? Not just supplements, but a lot of compounds.
Yeah, the sheer volume is wild. He takes 54 pills a day. Something like 74 different compounds in total.
54 pills, what's in there?
It's a mix. Prescriptions like tadalafil, which helps with circulation, metformin ER, acarbose, as you mentioned, and then experimental stuff like senolytics, things like fisetin and spermidine that are supposed to clear out old, damaged cells.
Senolytics. That's cutting-edge stuff.
Very. And then you add the machines and therapies. Daily hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT, 90 minutes a day.
I have heard of that. Isn't that super expensive?
Extremely. Just the HBOT setup and running costs can easily top $100,000 a year. Plus, he uses things like full-body red light panel several times a week and advanced cosmetic procedures.
Like what?
Things like Tixel, which is a type of thermal fractional skin resurfacing, and IPL, intense pulsed light for skin tone and pigment. These are targeting the visible signs of aging skin deep.
Okay, so the cost is immense. But let's synthesize this. We said the food and basic supplements are maybe $870 a month.
Roughly, yeah.
So the rest of that $2 million, it's basically doctor salaries, constant blood tests and scans, and these big, expensive machines and procedures.
That's the bulk of it, absolutely. The protocol itself, the daily actions, are far less costly than the measurement, oversight, and advanced tech.
So here's the question then. Are we saying those $1 million machines, the daily HBOT, the lasers, they're only responsible for, like, the last 20% of the results?
That's a reasonable way to think about it. Yeah, you get diminishing returns at the extreme edge.
So what specific benefits are we leaving behind if we skip the hyperbaric chamber and the fancy skin treatments?
You're likely leaving behind those hyper-specific marginal gains.
Yeah.
Things like pushing tissue oxygenation to its absolute maximum limit, or really boosting fibroblast activity for that extra bit of skin collagen, or maybe clearing cellular debris just that tiny bit faster.
Stuff most people wouldn't notice day to day.
Probably not. For the average person listening, nailing the basics, especially optimizing sleep, which is maybe the first 50% of the gains right there, and then dialing in diet and tracking those key metabolic markers like HbA1c, ApoB, hsCRP, that gives you the vast majority of the biological benefit, the critical mass.
Okay, so the budget blueprint takeaway is pretty clear then.
Yeah, you can likely capture maybe 80% of the anti-aging effects for somewhere in the $200 to $500 a month range.
Ow.
Prioritize those foundations. First, sleep optimization. Get blackout curtains, stick to a strict schedule, cool room. Second, adopt that whole food, plant-heavy diet structure with a defined eating window. Third, take a few essential proven supplements, vitamin D3, maybe omega-3s, creatine is a good one.
Simple, effective stuff.
Exactly. And fourth, track those key markers, HbA1c, ApoB, hsCRP, with basic blood tests every, say, 3 to 6 months. That costs maybe $350 a pop if you order them yourself.
Right, monitor your own progress.
That's the core of the budget version.
Yeah.
Consistency in the basics, plus targeted data tracking.
Okay, so recapping. Blueprint success seems built on just extreme consistency with the fundamentals. Sleep, time-restricted whole food diet, precision exercise, especially zone 2.
Right.
And the results, like reversing 5.1 biological years, they seem real, backed by objective markers like that low HbA1c and ApoB.
It is definitely there.
But the controversy is still valid. It's just one guy, an N of one. You can't definitively generalize these results to everyone.
Absolutely. That's the big caveat. It's one extremely dedicated, extremely measured individual.
So what's the final provocative thought here? What really stands out?
For me, it's things like the fact he achieved an 80% reduction in gray hair, or that massive drop in systemic inflammation. It suggests that this intense structure, this extreme measurement, it might actually have the power to override some genetic predispositions towards aging, or at least significantly delay them.
Interesting.
So if this level of disciplined self-measurement can achieve results like that, well, it makes you wonder, are we all drastically underestimating how much control we could have over our own biology just through basic human discipline and tracking?
That's definitely something to think about. Are we leaving potential on the table just by not being disciplined enough?
Maybe. It's a compelling question.
Okay, that was a deep dive. Next week, we're shifting gears completely. We're looking at the dark side of AI.
Oh, yeah.
Not the usual robots taking job sphere. We're talking about how the most powerful AI language models are already being used right now to create undetectable, personalized malware. Stuff that can potentially bypass almost all current security.
Whoa, okay, that's That sounds slightly terrifying.
It's going to be a wild one. Definitely need to know stuff. Remember, every insight gets deeper on the second listen, so make sure you save this deep dive in your library. We'll talk soon.